Say what you like about Prince Andrew, but at least we know he doesn't have an Oedipus complex. Because he doesn't have sex with old women.
But I will say he is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But he's not. That's the problem, isn't it?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a problem, Dylan. It's just like not the issue, not the issue at hand, really. To be honest with you.
Yeah, it's true.
Good point.
Because to be fair, I mean, it's possible that somebody could both bang old people and young people. So just the only people they don't bang are people their own age, which is that's not so good. I mean, although maybe you could say it balances out actually.
Isn't that what a pansexual is?
Yeah, that's what a pansexual is. Well, a pansexual, they bang really old people who were around during the time of Pangea.
Yeah, that's it.
You see, it's a good point. I've always thought that
because Peter Pan, because the people they bang never grow up.
The pansexual. I don't know what it. I think you just fuck everybody. I think that's the issue. Or not the issue, that's what they like. Yeah. And their flag,
so we're saying
pansexual pride flag looks very much like the flag of Gabon.
I do remember speaking about that. Which, to be fair, I bet they have lots of AIDS in Gabon, so that's the explanation.
Yeah, hey, we know that from the fucking Moana song. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That is it. Yeah.
When he goes off to Gabon and he comes back, don't go to West Africa. That's his tip. But yeah, Dylan. By the way. Speaking of Gabon, I guess, because they have AIDS in Gabon, I imagine they have rainforests in Gabon.
Yeah, possibly. We need to save the rainforest, which are certainly not gay.
Yes. Yes, certainly not gay.
As would be an inappropriate way of referring to our rainforests, which we need to save.
Yeah, but of course you had your rainforest video, didn't you? Which you told us about
I did.
last week.
I did, I mentioned it, yeah. It's somewhere on YouTube, hidden.
Oh, it is somewhere.
Never to be found.
It's hidden, is it? It's
Great,
hidden.
Did Luke find it?
In the darkest, deepest reaches of the internet. And you know what? Dylan was right because I didn't find it.
That was good though.
I thought.
To be fair, I feel I would have known if you'd found it because I feel like you would have told me prior to this podcast.
No, Luke cares enough about this podcast to wait for these big reveals.
I definitely would not have done that. You know what? Yeah. My plan was, if I found it, I would have uploaded it to our main channel. And I would have done it at exactly the time we started recording, which is now.
Oh, that would have been good, and then you could have made him go and check, and we could have heard his authentic
reaction. But I couldn't find it for goddamn it. I searched so many shitty rainforest videos.
Yeah, Luke is now the foremost expert on shitty rainforest videos.
Yeah, I don't know what you've titled the video, Dylan, where you've put it, but yeah, it's incredibly frustrating not to find it. But I do recall on the recording last week, you said you'd play the updated version for us. And you actually showed me after we finished recording. I'm just wondering, can you show me or everyone that now? Play the video of you as an adult doing the rainforest video.
Yeah, I suppose I don't really have any objections to the adult one. Just didn't want to put it on my own channel in case it got cancelled for saying
we'll just hear the audio.
Gay.
Just hear the audio. So can you play it now for us?
Oh, we'll play now?
Yeah, right now, Dylan. Right now. Oh, good thing I've already got it loaded up and ready. Right now.
Yeah, well,
see, this is how people know that this whole thing's scripted.
Okay, we're playing the video now.
Seamless.
Nice intro, Dylan.
Wow. According to Wikipedia, the undergrowth in a rainforest is restricted in many areas by the lack of sunlight at ground level. This makes it possible to walk through the forest. There are two types of rainforests, tropical rainforests and temperate rainforests.
Okay, that was the nerd.
Rainforests are gay. No, they're not. In fact, did you know that 40 to 75% of all species on Earth are indigenous to the rainforest? It has been estimated that I don't care because I'm cool.
Cool.
Prove it then. Because I've got me on supply of lynx and it's snake peel. Well, I have the nearly equivalent, created from the rainforest. I said rainforests are gay. Oh, okay, I believe you.
So you just punched him, yeah, or punched yourself.
Correct. Rainforests are forests characterised by high rainfall, with definitions setting minimum normal annual rainfall between 1,750 and 2,000 millimetres. That's 68 to 78 inches. And the monsoon trough, ultimately known as the intertropical conversion zone.
Why is the bully reading this, Dylan?
The Earth's tropical rainforests. I love rainforests.
It's just very boring facts.
Rainforests
Jeez.
are not gay.
Wow.
And then he falls over. Great.
Yeah, that was so good. Oh, and then we get this bit. This is the most important bit. Oh wait, so this is his dead body.
Oh yeah, he's been punched by the bully, and that's what's killed him.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well, just winded him.
Okay.
Oh right, and that's it then,
That's
is it?
fine.
Oh.
We all had fun here today, but this video uses some very dated and rather harmful homophobic language. It is not okay to say that something is gay just because you don't like it. This can be really upsetting to all of our friends from the LGBT plus community. And hey, if rainforests are gay, that shouldn't be a problem. Happy Monday, everybody.
And it is Monday. That's great.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that does.
And
work.
it's
So,
Monday.
so you created this video that you weren't intending to show anyone, yet you still put that disclaimer at the end.
Yeah. He's such a virtue signaler.
Just in case, obviously, just in case I had a change of heart and decided to put it out there.
Yeah, that's true.
But I only really made it for Michael's benefit because you were so desperate to see the rainforest video,
Yeah.
and I just wanted that to kind of die, like be hidden, like and buried in the depths of the internet.
So he made this adult version, which is much less cringe.
Yeah, much less cringe.
But I mean, my favorite part of the video is, myself thinking I'll make an educational video about the rainforest. Like literally, all of the stuff that I say is just stuff from like a Wikipedia page about rainforests, and it's just very generic facts to do with the rainforest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it completely causes the bully to have a change of heart. I think we should also mention that the bully was wearing a Jeremy Corbyn hoodie, which I think means that canonically that must mean the nerd character is Jewish.
You've given me a lot to think about, Michael.
Anyway, that was
is that it? Is that all you're going to say to that? Just, you've given me a lot to think about.
Maybe it is.
All
Shouldn't
right.
be a
that
problem.
was more than enough.
Yeah, okay. But also from last week, another issue. I don't think and this is what I was talking about, Michael, before with us ragging on Dylan more. Remember when I said when we were playing Wordle, I think it could be cynic, and he said, "Oh,
Yeah.
but we've already had an S." That moment from Dylan should not be forgotten.
Yeah,
Never
that's
be
right. Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
even like, I don't even think that's like a common misspelling. I think
No,
it's
I
just-
know.
Well, it was just me hearing it before realising what you'd said, so I was cynical. Oh, that sounds like it starts with an S. Oh, wait, hang on a second. But, I was very pleased that obviously allowed me to get away with that without any
Well, I
punishment.
talk about what we are going to do today, which is, of course, gay movie parodies. Gay movie parodies. So we did this once before, a few months ago. And, of course, I'll just recap what everyone did. So, Dylan, was that another fucking throat clear?
No.
Fucking
God, Dylan, I'm so angry at you.
have a drink of water. You fucking spaz.
Drink water. Don't
How are
clear
you?
your throat.
How is your throat this dry all the fucking time?
No, that's a good question, actually, Dylan. Like, Luke and I never have to clear our throat.
Like, how much cock have you been sucking?
Yeah, I just realized, like, we never. How often what do you do? Because what are you clearing from your throat?
Come.
So yeah, thank you for admitting that, Dylan. I appreciate it. Just don't do it before we record next week, okay? Right. So yeah, okay, that's good. Right. So let's go to gay movie parodies. So last time, of course, Dylan, you did Daddy's Home.
No, I did Schindler's Fist.
Yeah, you did also do Schindler's Fist, but you did Daddy's Home with the kids being replaced by twinks and the daddies competing to buy the twinks' affection, which I don't think
That's brilliant.
I don't think
forgot
really
about
went
that.
anywhere though. And then, of course, we had you, like you say, do Schindler's Fist, which again didn't really make sense, but it was a decent idea. I think it was something along the lines of Schindler saving the straights from the gay Nazis by making them do gay porn.
Possibly.
Yeah,
It
something
wasn't
like
as
that.
developed as it should have been.
Yeah, something like that. But it was a good idea, and it took place in Poland, of course. So that worked.
That's quite clever, that.
Quite cool, yeah. Poland. It's a whole different country.
Oh, actually, I've got in my my one at the moment. I've got because I used some gay words, so I've just put like a little footnote under what some of those gay words mean, just in case you're not sure. But it's a bit like Poland being like a gay country, similar to Poland, but different.
Okay, so then to continue on with the recap, Michael did 300. That was his gay movie parody. And Xerxes wants Leonidas to submit to his glorious cock. I believe is the phrase you used. And Leonidas wants Sparta to defeat Xerxes so he doesn't get fucked, but he keeps that fact a secret and pretends that it's all about defending Sparta from the Persians.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, but because the Spartans might not fight for him if it's just about Leonidas protecting his butthole.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I believe the phrase you used was, thank you for that background noise, Dylan.
Yeah, I know, yeah. That
was... You can't even, like, hold a water bottle.
It's like he's getting worse.
Yeah. You can't even hold a water bottle.
I was about to throat clear, and I realised I wasn't allowed to, so I went to get a drink of water, but accidentally hit it against the phone and the microphone.
Did you just have long COVID? Is that it?
Like,
I hope
yeah. I mean, maybe that is it, but I don't know. Dylan's body isn't the best at like fighting anything, so yeah,
that's true.
Maybe the COVID is going to be with him for life.
Yeah,
right. Anyway,
maybe the COVID is going to put him out of his misery.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Leonidas wanting to save himself from being made to gate by Xerxes. Yes. They will not penetrate our shield wall, I believe.
Yes.
Is the phrase used. Yeah. And Dylan did have the idea when Leonidas said, "This is madness. This is Sparta," and kicks the guy into the well. He's actually kicking a guy into a man's arsehole. And that was, I think, a really...
Yeah, a man's gaping arsehole.
Yeah, a really good idea. And the guy getting kicked into the arsehole has an erect penis, perhaps. So that's what's happening. Or
he's off balance.
Yeah. Or alternatively, the guy gets kicked into the erect penis, and it slides into his arsehole, and it's the ultimate humiliation for these Spartans to be getting fucked by a man.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah. And Dylan called it 3 bum dread, which was
because he's dreading being bummed.
Exactly, yeah. So Dylan really did help with that one.
No, yeah, he really helped.
And yeah, mine was part of a trilogy, so I'll talk about that later. I've kind of updated it a bit, let's say. So yeah, guys, what have we got this time? Dylan, do you want to go first?
Gladly. So I've put together a little piece, parody of James Cameron's 3-hour love story, Titanic, which I've called...
Oh, yeah?
I've called it Guy-Tanic.
Guy-Tanic. So Dylan, me and Michael reviewed Titanic recently, so we're all up to date with what happened in the movie.
I did listen to your review, and I did have some disagreements with it, but now...
what was one of them? Go on, just tell us quickly.
I disagree with the inclusion of the old lady scenes, but...
oh, yeah, we know that. We went through
I think
that.
it makes... I mean, I know you mentioned that in your review as well. Yeah, apart from that...
Well, it makes it less sexy.
Very less sexy.
Okay, give us your
I'm going to do a throat clear to start the thing off.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine.
The film starts in the year 2107 with an unnecessary hour aboard a research vessel under the wreck of the HMS Guy-Tanic, where they recover a safe hoping to find a CockRing with a large diamond on it. Instead, they find a tablet full of gay porn, including a picture of a young twink wearing the CockRing. 101-year-old Jose Pawson and his rent boy are brought aboard as Jose recounts his experience on the Guy-Tanic. We have a few pointless scenes with old Jose that add nothing to the plot, with the sole purpose of increasing the runtime of the film. Eventually,
I disagree.
Luke's a Guy-Tanic purist.
Yeah.
Eventually, the actual film... I had to say the criticism is, if you've got a film set in the past, does Downton Abbey just need like a scene with old Lord Grantham? That was the most erotic moment of my life. Like,
yeah,
I think you can set a
is.
film in the past and just leave it in the past. Anyway,
Well, it adds to the movie, Dylan. If you listen to my review, if you can connect it to modern times.
I did listen to it. It adds to the runtime, definitely.
And the feeling as well, because you realise that these characters aren't just people from a bygone area. They actually existed.
I do like that. I do like. Maybe you could have like a scene at the end, which is like, "Oh, I'm old now, but I'm still."
You just don't want the old lady to cut in with the nude sketch scene. That's all you want.
Maybe it was just a beginning and an end. Maybe it'd be better, but I still think it makes the film too long, and it doesn't really have much to it. Apart from that, I get that. Anyway, the actual film begins in Brighton in 2022. A 17-year-old Jose DeWitt Cockeater gets aboard the HMS Guy-Tanic with his wealthy daddy, Sal. The Guy-Tanic has 2 rules. The first rule of Guy-Tanic is men only, and the second rule of Guy-Tanic is men only. Meanwhile...
Wait, is this fucking Fight Club? What is this?
I just kind of added that in just to establish the fact that only men are allowed aboard the Guy-Tanic.
Okay,
wouldn't it be better if he actually was with a woman and then converted to being gay? Wouldn't that actually fit in more with the theme of the actual movie you're trying to parody?
Maybe in your film. Maybe that works in your film. But this is my film.
Yes.
So he's with his wealthy daddy, Sal. Meanwhile, a bear cub by the name of Zach Pawson also boards the Guy-Tanic after winning his ticket from a game of soggy biscuits.
Yeah.
Later on in the film, Jose becomes distraught over Sal as Sal treats him too nicely and isn't a mean enough daddy. Jose gets himself on the grinder to see if there are any other daddies on the ship. While swiping through, he discovers Zach.
Oh, sorry. You mean grinder, but you just said it weird because you're a weirdo.
I say grinder. I call it grinder. Grinder and
great,
Tinder.
wonderful.
The grinder for straights.
Oh, I get
Tinder
it.
for
Yeah,
norms.
yeah. Because they're pronounced similar because they're the same thing. I got you. Yeah, that makes sense.
While
Good.
swiping
Well done,
through,
Dylan, you're brave.
he discovers Zach. Although not old enough to be his daddy, Jose enjoys the contemptuous way that Zach talks to him, and they form a menship. And that's one of my 5 words. Sal finds out about this, and he's reasonably annoyed at this. Excited at the prospect of being punished by his daddy, he discourages Zach's attention. Unfortunately, Sal doesn't punish Jose anywhere near as much as Jose deserves, and this makes him realise that he has queerlings for Zach, as he is far meaner. Jose brings Zach to his room and asks him to get his guy pad and film some gay porn of him. Jose is completely naked apart from his diamond-encrusted CockRing called the Aids of the Ocean, brought for him by his daddy Sal. Lots of sinful, and once upon a time criminal, acts are undertaken by the pair and filmed on the tablet. We then cut to a scene of a much older Jose telling people that it was the most homoerotic moment of his life.
That, to be fair, is probably accurate.
Yeah, and I like how you still included that scene in the movie, even though that's the scene you hate the most. So I guess you're sticking true to it being a parody. So
absolutely. We cut back to 2022, and following the scenes, Zach evolves from cub to bear. Bear and Twink then go on deck and witness something horrible. The ship hits an iceberg. Sal later discovers the guy pad full of the gay porn between Jose and Zach. He is disappointed, but accepts the relationship. This infuriates Jose, who demands that his daddy Sal punish him for his infidelity. Zach then randomly punches Sal for no reason. Zach and Jose go to inform others of the collision with the iceberg, but Sal tells security of Zach's assault on him. Zach is detained for a short while in a small room. Later on, other passengers realise the ship is sinking.
That wasn't really necessary, was it?
I'm enjoying this.
Passengers.
Lifeboats are deployed. Luckily, based on a similar disaster 110 years earlier, the ship has plenty of lifeboats for everyone. Zach is released from the small room and, unhappy about being detained, takes his anger out on Jose. Jose is pleased about this. However, whilst he is being punished by his new daddy, the bear and Trink realise that they've run out of time to evacuate the ship and it sinks. Jose finds some debris and begins to float on it. Zach swims next to him and demands he let him on, but the debris can't balance both of them. Zach falls off and is angry at Jose. Jose is excited about the prospect of Zach taking this fury out on him again, but before he is able to, Zach succumbs to the cold water and dies of hypothermia. Jose
It's
is
not really
found.
necessary.
I've got a footnote for hypothermia. It's a death caused by a combination of hypothermia and AIDS. Jose is found by a rescue ship.
My favorite thing about that was that Dylan's voice cracked. Let's make fun of Dylan's voice crack. That's staying in.
Jose is found by a rescue ship and gives his name as Jose Pawson. In modern day, after hearing about the story, the head of the mission decides he doesn't want the CockRing. Jose then approaches the stern of the ship and drops it in the ocean. The head of the mission, after witnessing this, changes his mind and sends in a crew to recover it. The film's theme, My Arse Will Go On, by Sir Queen Queeron, plays over the credits. And that's the
That was
end.
beautiful. I personally like how you picked up the clear subtext of the original film that she actually likes that Sal is a bit mean to her. And she doesn't really appreciate how lucky she is to have a man who really takes charge.
Yeah, exactly.
Unlike that cuck Leo.
Yeah, and I was actually quite happy when Jack died.
Yeah.
Which is why she didn't let him on the.
Yeah, exactly.
On the raft. There was
I
plenty of room
thought
on
they
the
were going to
raft.
have like a very I thought
On
they
the
were going
door.
to have like in your parody they were going to have like a substantial argument about whether or not there was enough room. Like one of them says, "Yeah, there is enough room," and I was like, "No, there's not really enough." But it's just...
There's more room in my
Yeah.
arse than there is on this door.
That could have been one of the lines.
Could have been.
But
That would be a good line.
If I'd had
That
more
could have been like the
notice, Luke, I
tagline for
could
the
have
film.
put that in as well.
I mean, I think you did a good. You had like 2 pages of a gay parody of Titanic. I think you went above and beyond. To be honest, Dylan.
No, that really
And
wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, he actually said he had work to do today, but he got rid of. Well, he didn't do the work because he was so keen on writing this. So I guess
Prioritised
those
it.
flaws will need to be wiped another day. Then, eh?
Yeah.
I was going to clean my broom.
Broom, broom.
Right. Okay. So I've got another one. Well, I've got kind of 2. One of them is kind of a redo on my last one, but I had this little idea, which was so the curious case of Benjamin Button,
Oh yeah, that works actually.
the curious case of Benjamin Butt sex.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, the point of the story is, well, the film can still star Brad Pitt, of course, but he becomes a gay man in reverse. You see.
Oh,
So
that's
it
funny.
starts with him being this incredibly big and brave athlete who goes to play in the NFL for the New Orleans Saints. He has sex with a ton of women. He drinks a load of beer. He loves life. Before suddenly, one day he sees his teammate in the shower, and he thinks his teammate's penis looks rather tasty.
Well, yeah. I'm liking it. I think Dylan might be liking it too.
Yeah, I know.
Dylan's finding it highly relatable.
I know. That must be it. And he won.
He's loving it.
He's actually gone. He's actually gone. He's actually.
Yeah, we're done.
I don't know why I found that so funny.
No, neither do I really.
Penis looks rather tasty.
And he wanders towards it before just stopping himself, and he's like, "Wait, what am I doing?" Then more and more often he sees his teammates in the showers and wants to touch their penises and their bodies, and he's actually, this is crazy. I've never seen him laugh so much, and he can't stand it anymore. So eventually, he's in the prime of the NFL. He's one of the best players in the NFL because of how manly and straight he is. But he has to retire. And then so we cut to like 5 years later, during his so he's being inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. Nobody really knows why he retired. So all the players, because the NFL Hall of Fame is when athletes retire. If they were really good, they get put in this museum basically, or they get a statue of themselves. And he shows up and he starts doing his acceptance speech, and all of a sudden, like, his voice is really high, and he's speaking like somebody who might be a bit gay, who might. Yeah. And everyone's like, "What the hell's going on with Benjamin Button? What the hell's going on?" And basically, he's of course he's becoming more and more gay. And I was wondering how to get the character of Cate Blanchett in the movie.
Yes, yeah.
And I was thinking that perhaps he could, like, early on in his life, he could find someone, or he could bully someone who went to his school who was gay, right? He could bully someone, and then over the course, of the movie, he forms a relationship with them, and basically the movie will end in tragic circumstances because he finally fulfills. Well, he goes to the East Village in New York City in the early 1990s, and he gets AIDS, and he dies of AIDS, and that's the tragic death of him. And again,
Who would have thought a basketball character or a basketball player would get AIDS?
It's actually NFL. So.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't.
No, but I think you're making a point about
Magic
what's
Johnson.
his name?
But yeah, I was
Magical
getting
Johnson.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I was getting my people confused. NFL.
Yeah.
I was thinking of NFL as NBA.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's the curious case of Benjamin Buttigieg. He becomes, and by the end of his life, he's a really gay, slim, queen living in New York City. Before,
like Freddie Mercury.
When
he sort of went through his sort of AIDS transformation.
Yeah, maybe he even moves to San Francisco. Maybe that's what he does at the end. But yeah, he dies of AIDS, unfortunately.
I think it's really good. My favourite bit is the bit at the start where he discovers he's gay because he
really
sees a teammate in the shower. I don't know why. It's funny because he'd probably see his teammates in the shower all the time and think nothing of it, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, hang on,"
and he just wanders towards it just before stopping himself. Like, what am I doing? Yeah. So there you go. That's the curious case of Benjamin Buttigieg. I've got another one after which is just a redo of my first one as well, just better though. So Michael, you go next.
Yes, thank you. I've really been excited to share this with you. So,
you said this was good, right?
Well, it's not. I've now seen how involved Dylan's is, so I'm a little bit kind of aware of the fact that mine's not quite as involved, but it mostly extends from the name. So I don't know if you'll remember the early 2000s critically acclaimed Chinese kung fu movies. There were a few that were quite well regarded. And
The Last Samurai.
No, Chinese. Let's not be racist there.
No, that's the last. Tom Cruise is Chinese in that movie. He even puts the tape on his eyes. You can't tell me that's not a Chinese movie.
Of course, the film I'm really thinking of is films such as Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and of course The House of Flying Daggers. Now, I decided to come up with a parody for The House of the Flying Daggers, and it's called The House of the 5-Inch Faggots.
Okay.
And
I didn't hear that. Sorry,
it's the
again.
House of the 5-Inch Faggots.
It's the House of the Flying Daggers.
Okay.
So basically, the plot is that in a monastery in kind of rural China, there are these monks who are all gay, and they all have 5-inch penises. And the thing is, okay, this is the key thing, okay, the emperor wants these monks to breed with women because they have the largest penises in all China. And because they have the largest penises in all China, he's worried that Chinese people, as China kind of enters onto the global stage, as it leaves its imperial period, he's worried that they might get made fun of for their small penises. So
that'll never happen.
Yeah, so he's thinking maybe if we got to all of these people in this monastery who have these massive 5-inch penises to breed with just an endless assembly line of Chinese women, then eventually we'll produce a race of 5-inch penis monsters, these giant 5-inch penises.
Monsters.
So that's kind of his goal. So now, obviously, there's a lot of kind of stuff with bamboo happening. Like that was kind of the main things, because one of the main things I remember from the House of Flying Daggers is like the scene where they fight in this bamboo field and they're kind of climbing up the bamboo and all that kind of stuff. In this version, they're just shoving the bamboo up their assholes.
Oh, okay. I see.
But I was also at that point I kind of realized I didn't actually remember the plot to House of Flying Daggers that well. So I thought about other kind of classic Chinese films. What's the other classic Chinese story? Mulan. So I realized, in fact, that what would happen is they'd get this girl, Mulan, to dress up as a man so she could sneak into the House of the 5-inch Faggots and and seduce them. So in the end, she kind of gets in there and she acts like a man. And then basically they're like, oh, I don't know about this. And then, as we know in the film, in the Mulan film, she rather inventively uses a firework to cause an avalanche. And she does something similar here. She uses a firework up the main monk's arse, and it causes a cum avalanche everywhere. And eventually, by doing that, she's able to collect all of the cum. And the plan is to go and bring it back. She plans to bring it back because it's kind of like during the winter time, like up in a mountain. So she like packs it in snow to like preserve the cum and bring it down to the village. But then she gets confronted by the master who she's formed a relationship or a friendship with, and he's like, "You betrayed us. How could you have done this?" And then they end up having a fight, and then he kills her. Because it's still a kung fu movie, you know, like it's got to have some stakes.
Oh, okay. So at the end of the day, Mulan.
Well, the thing is, I couldn't have it end with like Chinese people having massive 5-inch penises. So I was like, I can't have it, break reality. So basically, the 5-inch faggots end up dying, and they never pass on their massive penis genes.
I'm interested in the 5-inch faggots' like motivation. Why don't they just donate their sperm to the rest of China?
Well, I think it's because they're so committed to being gay that they're. So one of the things is, have you ever heard of like gold star gay and platinum gay? You ever heard of those categories?
No, I haven't.
So basically, gold star gay means like you've never even touched a vagina, but platinum gay means you were born by a cesarean. So you didn't even come out of a vagina. And all of these guys are platinum gay. They were all born by cesarean.
Did they have cesarean sections in medieval China?
Well, no, but the thing is they're all fighting each other with kung fu so much that sometimes it just happened by accident.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, so they were all born by C-section, and therefore none of them have ever even touched vaginas, and they believe in order to maintain their platinum gay status, which allows them into the hottest nightclubs, they can't even have their cum touch a woman's vagina.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen the movie. I don't know how faithful it is to the actual movie.
Actual House. I'm going to have to watch House of Flying Daggers again at some point, because I really can't remember it that well either.
Last time, if you remember, I did Gay Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I have so it was the Fellowship of the Ring. I only did the first one, and I have refined that. So I haven't done the Two Towers yet. So it's just a parody of the Fellowship of the Ring again.
The two cocks.
Well, you'll have to wait for that one, Dylan, when it happens. So instead of J.R.R. Tolkien, it's instead of J, it's gay. Arse, yes. Tolkien. Yes.
Good.
Clever.
And here is the story up to now. And remember, crucial thing, a detail which I need to make sure you remember: only gay characters are the ones corrupted by the ring. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
And is it a CockRing?
Oh, well, I'm about to tell you, Michael. So we have some musical accompaniment, I think, to really set the scene.
Yes.
There you go. So this is the Fellowship of the CockRing. So the story tells of the Dark Lord Sauerod, who seeks the CockRing, which contains part of his soul in order to return to power. So you put this ring on your cock, and it gives you gay power. The ability to penetrate and pound the men you are battling with ease. Sauerod is called that because of the ring which has been on his cock for so long has turned it sour. Now, anyone who is corrupted by this ring turns gay, and the ring is constantly trying to make its holder put the ring on their cock and turn themselves gay. But the ring morphs in size depending on how big the holder's dick is. It can be very embarrassing for a ring bearer if when they get the cock ring, the ring then becomes very small in their hand. So,
funny.
Yeah. So let's get on with the Fellowship of the cock ring, as it were. So, in this movie, Isildur kills Sauron, just like at the start, by slicing his dick off with his sword. And
Lovely.
the cock ring falls to him. The ring's implements corrupts Isildur, who then becomes Is It in the Back Door? The ring is lost in a river for 2,500 years until it is found by Gollum, also known as Gulpcum, who owns it for over 4.5 centuries. Now the ring abandons Gulpcum and is subsequently found by a hobbit named Bilbo Baggins, who briefly becomes Dildo Baggins when he puts the ring on his dick. Now the ring then goes to Frodo, who isn't corrupted by the ring, because, he's straight, and he comes from the Shire, the most perfect place in the world. And therefore
Yes, that makes sense.
Yes, it's the place where the inhabitants are least likely to be gay, according to this story, of course.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, just how Tolkien intended. So, in this, Frodo and 8 companions who form the Fellowship of the Ring begin their journey to Mount Dick in the land of More HIV Door. The only place where the CockRing can be destroyed. And I'd like to think that the sky around More HIV Door is just filled with AIDS. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
liquid. Smoke AIDS. AIDS smoke.
Yeah, smoky AIDS. So, Gandalf investigates the ring, discovering its true nature, and learns that Gultcum was captured and tortured by Sauron. And of course, and he reveals the 2 words during his interrogation, Shire and Baggins, just like in the movie. Now, Gandalf returns and warns Frodo to leave the Shire, and he rides to Isengard, which has a new name, Geyserhard, to meet with the wizard Saruman, who has a new name, Shagaman. And of course, his cloak is rainbow-coloured, just like you suggested, Michael. That was your suggestion. Yes. But through this, the name change and Saruman now becomes Shagaman, Gandalf discovers his alliance with Sauron, who has dispatched his 9 undead Nazgul, or Asful, servants to find Frodo. So, the hobbits then aided by a ranger who, escorts them to Rivendell. However, they are ambushed by the Asful and their leader, the Witch King of Angmar, who is now, of course, the Dick King of Gaybar. Which was also, of course, a Michael suggestion, so shout out Michael, who stabs Frodo. He goes to Rivendell to get healed. Facing the threat of both Sauron and Shagaman, Lord Elrond decides against keeping the CockRing in Rivendell. He holds a council of elves, men and dwarves, attended by Frodo and Gandalf, and decides the ring must be destroyed in the fires of Mount Dick. But they have to watch out because the Eye of Sauron is watching them, or the Jap's Eye of Sauron, as it is now. Yes, it's just a massive cock and balls.
To be fair, it already looked like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that big a stretch, is it? So, Frodo volunteers to take the ring, accompanied by 8 others, including a man called Boromir, or will it be Boroquir? We'll find out. So, the Fellowship is on their way to Mount Dick, and they go into the Mines of Moria, but they're confronted by a Balrog, or a ballsack, residing within the mines. While the others escape, Gandalf fends off the ballsack and casts it into a vast chasm, but the ballsack drags Gandalf down with, a bit of a string of cum, Like,
that makes sense, because it would be pretty sticky and gooey.
Yeah, exactly, and Gandalf can't get rid of it. So he plunges down into the gay darkness with him, and the devastated Fellowship reaches Lothlorien. Meanwhile, Shagaman creates an army of Uruk-hai, or Uruk-hai, as they are known, in Geyserhard, to find and kill the Fellowship. Frodo wanders off and is confronted by Boromir, who is now, of course, Boroquir, who tries to take the CockRing. He says they can use the ring and turn Sauron's gayness against him. The Uruk-hai scouts them and ambushes the Fellowship, mortally wounding Boroquir. And there we go. That's a very sad end. And then we wait to see what happens in the 2 towers, and maybe they'll succeed. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in this gay parody? So there you go.
That was good. No, I liked that.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That was really well done. I really got attached to the character of Boroquir.
Yeah, Boroquir. It's a shame he had to die.
Yeah, but
I did like the Uruk-hai because it's just
Hi.
it's just their name, the Uruk-hai, but with hi.
Hi.
So dumb.
Oh, by the way, Luke, I actually reminded myself of something which I'm just going to have to really quickly mention now, which is that I remembered what the cold open is I wanted to tell you about, which was the new Pinocchio trailer. Have you heard about the new Pinocchio trailer?
Yeah, I've seen it. Is it Paris?
It's Pauly Shore.
That's it, Pauly Shore, yeah.
Yeah. And basically he's like, Father, when can I leave to be on my own? I got the whole world to see. It's become like a meme on TikTok where like gay guys have been doing it to be like show how gay they are. So like, Father, when can I leave to be on my own?
I gotta get on TikTok to see that. That sounds like some great content. What's that face you're making, Dylan? Are you being homophobic?
I'm not being homophobic, but I am being phobic of is Disney remaking all their films.
No, but
It's
it's actually
unnecessary.
so the thing is though, Dylan, this is what's good about this. Okay, it's not actually a Disney remake. It
Oh,
is
good.
it's an English dub of a Russian animation of Pinocchio.
Because I don't know what we were arguing about. Because I plenty of times
Yeah.
put up with Kyle just being a dick, just basically, or just. I remember there was this one time because we had the chart.
Oh yeah.
And maybe we'll go through this another time.
Yeah.
With
I love the chart.
Yeah, who had been messy and so on, and Kyle. Basically, I went to the shops and I came back, and when I went to the shops, the chart was up on the wall, and then when I came back, it was in the bin. Like if someone had scrunched it up and put it in the bin. Now Kyle, I mean, unsurprisingly, was often incredibly messy, so he often got a lot of ticks on the chart for stuff he left out. And so I came back and I saw the chart in the bin. I was like, "What the fuck? Who's put this in the bin?" And so there was only Kyle. I think Kyle was probably in the lounge at the time, and I asked him, "Hey, have you put this in the bin?" And so he said no. Then I go
And he
upstairs.
said, "You
I think-
talk so much bullshit."
Because you were
And then
the House president, were you not?
Yeah,
So he was
we'll get onto that
taking
another time.
taking
But
that
yeah,
out,
that's
weren't you?
another-
I mean, obviously
yeah.
we'll talk
Yeah.
more about that, but I think that's why
Yeah,
it was in
so-
the bin and why it was directed at you.
yeah. And so a threat to me. Yeah, it was a threatening. But I went
straight
up,
to your authority.
yeah, exactly, a threat to my authority. So then I went upstairs. Like, okay, who else could it have been if it's not Kyle? And I did suspect it might have been Kyle because he did seem like the kind of guy to do that, and he didn't like the ticks that he got quite a bit. So I went into
Don't
Michael's
leave your
room.
food out then.
Yeah, exactly. So I went into Michael's room because I remember you were in, and I think maybe one more person was in. Maybe it was Scott. I honestly can't remember. And then I said, "Hey, did you throw the put the fucking thing in the bin, like the tick sheet or whatever?" And you were
And
like,
I
"No."
lied to you.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. No.
Yeah, no, because you had no reason. You were up in your room, and then I talked to someone else, and then I was like, right, I'm pretty sure then Kyle has done it, because I came to, it was a very easy conclusion to come to, and
Yeah.
so then this can be my topic, by the way, I guess, if you want
Yeah,
to
that's
separate
fine.
it. Yeah, and so then I walked downstairs and confront Kyle. I was like, hey, Kyle, I'm pretty sure you did do this, right? Just admit it. Like it's obvious, and like I remember. Like he didn't say it with a lot of enthusiasm, like he kind of knew I knew, but he kept on saying, "No, I didn't do it." Like he just wouldn't admit that he did it, even though it was pretty obvious that he did. And yeah, that was one of my memories of him. I was like, wow, even like when it was all the only guy who would do something like that, the guy who had the most reason because of the amount of ticks he got, and the guy who was literally in the lounge right next to the tick sheet and would have seen anyone else probably go and put it in the bin if it wasn't him. Just refusing to admit that it was him. It was it was quite a guy Kyle was. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel
Like
At
I
one
could
point-
beat him in a long distance race.
I think so. Although I'm not a professional cyclist.
To be fair,
so I don't-
he couldn't run that well, and that is something that I think I noticed.
I imagine
What?
him running like he's cycling. Like, where are my pedals?
Oh, were you not saying you'd beat him while you're running and he's on his bike?
Oh no, sorry, that's
no.
not what he was saying. Dylan.
Yes, I
Just for
wasn't.
the
No,
record.
and so he was fit. He was the fittest person in the house, obviously by a mile.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm not sure he was that good at running. Like I think because we played football sometimes together, and he couldn't run so well. I don't think I'd say that anyway because of how fit
Did he
he
ever play
was, but,
football?
Yeah, we played football with
I don't
Kyle.
ever remember Cal playing football with us.
He played it like every now and then.
Yeah,
like,
maybe
not
it was
very
before.
often.
Maybe it was before you were here, Dylan.
Maybe
you were
before
here.
my
Yeah.
time.
Anyway,
I was going to say, did you not accuse me of that? I mean, you accused me of something that I remember not doing. And I remember you, I think it was you and someone else were, interrogating me in a room.
Oh, I do remember the interrogation. But that's a whole other thing. No,
What
We
was
should
it
try-
about, Mike?
I can't remember, but I think if I really put my brain to it, I'll remember because I remember the interrogation so much, and I'm
Should
sure
we-
I'll remember what it was about if I really.
Should we save that for another week then?
Because I
Yeah.
remember when we did it, we split people up into the prime suspects to split up so that we could do and we tried. The thing is, the one thing I remember is we literally we did the prisoner's dilemma thing. And
Yes,
it worked.
yes.
And it
You
worked on
told me
Dylan.
that people had betrayed me, and I was
No,
like,
no,
why
no,
would
Michael.
they betray me? Because
Michael.
I've not
Yeah.
done anything.
It was Michael. It was me. So Dylan and it was someone else. And I literally remember I went into Dylan's room and said, "Well, Scott's told me it was you, so you're fucked." And then Dylan was like, "Oh right, well if he's snitching, I'll say it was him then." And I
Oh
was
no,
like,
because it actually was Scott, and I was just kind of like, well, there's no one needs to know about it. But then I heard that Scott had snitched on me, so I'm like, fuck Scott. It was
The thing is,
actually
Michael,
was
And that was the start of the Dylan Scott.
I have to,
community.
Michael, I have to emphasize, it was so easy. It was so easy to get Dylan to confess, to figure out what happened. I was just literally my first.
Dylan
I
should
didn't have
never get
anything to
arrested.
confess to. I didn't actually do anything
Yeah,
wrong. I don't remember what it was that I
I
was
know.
supposed to have done, but
Well,
I don't
to
actually
get you
think
to
I was
tell-
it wrong.
To get you to tell the truth, like there's a crucial thing. He wasn't telling me my first attempt. Just Scott's told me it was you. So, and then he just opened up. It was like a fucking opening a book. He
I
spilled
didn't want to
everything.
I didn't want to take the rap for something that
You
Scott
didn't
had
want to get
done.
in trouble.
Yeah,
with
but
the
it was
house
so
president.
easy. It was so easy. It was just the first little prod, and then you collapsed
I was
completely.
just like, if he snitched on me, fucking.
Yeah, I know. I get it, Dylan. I get it. But yeah, it was because I was like, will this work? Is Dylan really that dumb for this to work?
Well,
And
I didn't want to take the fall for what Scott had done.
Anyway, I think we should move on to Dylan's topic.
no, I just
Oh,
want to
before-
finish
Oh,
off on
okay,
the
that's
Kyle
right.
thing.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I remember this argument. I think you cut it short because you guys, I think, went to the pub. That's why you cut it short.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, to do the pub quiz that was on that night. I think that was the reason. And so I then continued the talking with Kyle somehow, some way, and I apologized to him afterwards, saying, and I said to him, "Hey, Kyle, I don't know if you've been diagnosed with this, but I think you might have Asperger's." That's what I said to him.
That's a great apology, Luke.
No, I meant it. I was true, and I don't know if he heard me or not. Probably because I think he went to the shower because he was always fucking showering. And he was just in the shower, and I don't know if he heard me, but that's what I said. And I was like, I'm sorry, because I did regret arguing with him, because it's clear he did have some sort of syndrome, some way or another. That was it wasn't my finest moment, I have to say.
I was going to bring up the aftermath because I don't have any footage of the argument. I don't even know if I was there when the argument was going on. I feel like I was aware of it. But I do have a picture that was taken shortly after the argument, maybe the following week or so, of a rekindled friendship.
Well, I don't think that was.
So
I think that was probably before Dylan.
I'm pretty sure it was after, because I was like, do you two not like each other anymore? I was like, well, no, we're all right with each other. And I was
And
like,
that was Luke.
okay.
What did Kyle say?
I'll take a picture of you.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I mean, I can move on pretty.
Oh, by the way, can we just say just a record? Not his real name.
Yeah, not
That's
Kyle's
right.
real name. That was I can move on pretty easily from grudges. I find, And again, I apologize. I regretted the argument.
Oh, hold on a minute. This reveal that Luke can move on quickly from grudges means that we can just start arguments with him all the time, and there won't be any long-term consequences. Hey, Luke, you suck.
Oh well, damn, that hurt. Anyway, let's review Michael's topic and my story / Okay, let's do Michael's first. Go on, Dylan. What are you gonna give Michael?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Okay. What about you, Michael?
I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Why not? I mean, I don't know. I mean, because actually, no, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 because the audio-visual element, it really was like, we tell these stories, but having actual documentary footage.
Oh,
it's a very
yeah.
rare thing.
I mean, now you bring up the footage, I might have to dock him out because it was very badly played.
Yeah.
All the
That's
pausing.
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna only bring.
no.
Dylan, what do you want to give it?
I already reduced him out because it was going to be an 11 out of 10, but it
Okay, that's good.
lost
Thank
the
you.
mark because of the audio-visual stuff, so you've only got a 10, I'm afraid.
Okay, well, I'm gonna only give it an 8 because of the audio visual issues. I have to say.
Oh, that's lame. But
yeah.
if I manage to fix them, then people won't even be aware of them, and then you'll look really, really retarded.
I know.
What are we
Yeah,
complaining
visual
about?
issues.
It was perfect.
And anyway, so what are you gonna give me now, Dylan?
What was your contribution to the topic?
Well, it's basically just every single subsequent story about Kyle.
Yeah, the story
But
of Kyle
mostly
putting the
yeah.
the
tick
tick shit in the bin. Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah.
It was okay.
and of course me actually being in the video. That
that improved. Yeah, okay. I'd say maybe just a safe 9 then.
a safe.
I'll
Okay.
go for a safe 8.
A safe 8, and
Yeah.
I'll go for a 7.
Okay, good.
24.
Now, Dylan, what's your fantastic topic? You have
I don't know.
minus a
It
couple
made
of
me.
minutes.
It did actually. I mean, because I don't have much time, it did make me think of something really funny, also regarding Kyle, like a funny incident. But I think based on our limited time, we'll
Yes.
say that. I think since we've got a short amount of time, I'll just talk about just
This is possibly one of those ones where like literally just a question, but I don't know.
funny.
whatever it is.
Well, just a funny anecdote about Kyle. He liked bikes. He had. If you mentioned anything to do with bikes, he had an opinion on it.
That's true.
Remember, there was an advert on the. This will just be my topic. There was an advert on the telly about this bike that you can charge a battery on it, and then you press a button, it just kind of cycles for you. And he got so wound up by it. And I remember watching it with him. I was like, "Oh, that'd be quite a good bike. You know, it'd be quite useful for getting to lectures and that." "Oh, you're joking! That's not a real bike. You know, you can't get one of those. I'd punch anyone that'd raise that bike." And he got so wound up about the existence of this bike.
Don't do that.
Oh God, man. Oh, he was a funny character. Was
He
kind
liked his bikes.
honestly. Yeah, I hope he's doing well wherever he is.
I hope
'cause-
he's touring
Yeah.
France or something.
Yeah, I hope he's riding bikes in heaven.
No, the thing is, the first day I met Kyle, because he was in our house, obviously, Michael, and he told
Yes.
me he came second in this national biking competition, and I was
The
like, "Oh
first
wow!"
day you met him.
Oh, that's not
Yeah,
shit, that.
literally.
Why would you brag about
I
coming
was-
second?
Well, that's the thing. I was because maybe the brag, if he came first, it would be too obvious. I was like, "Oh wow, that's impressive. This guy is amazing." And then as you learn more about him, you learn oh, that might just have been a complete lie. You just might have completely made that up.
Like, he starts off here, and then just every day it's just...
Another thing I remembered about the Kyle argument with me and him, and that it wasn't recorded, but of course he came from. Well, he says he comes from a military family, whatever the fuck that means. A lot of the people served in the army, and he said to me during that argument, "That's why I get so annoyed." And he literally said this, with people like you, who I have to go out and fight for, defending your freedom or some bullshit like that.
Remember that.
And I was shouting at him, going, "Kyle, you're not in the army. You have never been in the army, Kyle. It's not you." It was insane how those words came out of his mouth.
Yes, I do remember that. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do we think about Dylan's topic?
Oh, hang on. There's one more thing I wanted to add to it. And I was thinking about Kyle and armies. We could...
I just heard how Dylan's voice squeaked twice then.
Pity is all I have left.
You've got
Yes.
the Parodies. You still know how to operate it. Take the lieutenant to the palace.
Oh, hang on.
What is going on? Corporal Lang, how are you? Lieutenant. What's...
Oh, this is a bit later on.
Now look, Sergeant.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
There we go.
Lieutenant.
Yeah.
Lieutenant. Now look, Sergeant.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
Oh my god.
Because Kyle's from a military family, so
But he didn't know how to pronounce lieutenant.
I mean he was something else, wasn't he? Anyway, so let's rate Dylan's topic, which was the lieutenant thing, I guess, and also his story about Kyle getting mad at this bicycle commercial.
yeah.
Ooh, how could you?
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay,
Mostly
Dylan.
because it wasn't long enough for my liking.
Yeah.
What about you?
What about me? I'm going to also give it a safe 7.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 7 as well. So 21. There we go.
That's right. That's
nice
a safe.
easy.
That's a
And
safe score. That.
It is a safe score. Shall we have some final thoughts, guys? You go first, Dylan.
I'll go first, shall I? On my final thoughts that I've got written down in front of me. I'm just gonna go and find now the.
You can lead
thing
a
that-
horse to water, but you can't make it
I'm just
drink.
gonna do a throat clear while
That's Michael's final thoughts.
I find my final thoughts.
And Dylan,
Hang on.
you really don't have to do this.
No, don't worry, Luke. You do your final thought,
So
Okay.
and in that way we'll end on Dylan's because I'm sure that he's really coming up with it. So it's got to be something special and incredible, and it will be worth ending on. I'm sure because of how much he's building it up.
Yeah, because he couldn't just say something that came off the top of his head. No, he had to really say something that he prepared because it's going to be so great. We can't.
Yeah.
So I'll go.
So-
I'll go first.
yeah.
I'll say respect for Boris Johnson for just ignoring COVID. Yeah, he had to do it. So go on, Dylan. What's yours?
Well, I was gonna do a thing, but I'll just say about like how hilarious it is that Kurt Zuma's still playing football, and then Chris Wood, one of the Newcastle players, spent the match meowing at him.
Yeah. Yeah, go meow like that. Yeah, at him.
Oh yeah, that is quite funny.
Because the cat video.
Because he abused that kid. Cat,
Yeah.
even.
Yeah.
He abused that
I
pussy.
often confuse cats and kids.
He abused that. He certainly did. Anyway, thanks for watching The Pope is Gay. Shout out to Kyle who made this episode possible. And yeah, see you next week.
Bye. Stop recording.